face.
I'm not in your face. I'm just here to tell you that you're a terrorist sympathizer.
Okay, all right,
you're a
fine.
coward.
Oh, thank you. All right, thank you.
Terrorist sympathizer.
Thank you. Okay, thank
Yep.
you.
Hillary's going to prison. Trump's going to be
I'm not
president.
voting for Hillary. I can't
you're
stand
voting for
Hillary.
Bernie,
And
right?
Trump.
Bernie, right? You love Bernie.
It
don't
doesn't
you?
matter, man.
Oh, it don't matter. Yeah. Oh, it's proof good. No, Islam is hate.
Okay, thank you,
Islam
bigot.
is
Get away from me, bigot.
You're the bigot.
Go,
you
bigot.
support bigots.
Go, bigot.
Yeah, you're the bigot.
Get out of here,
terrorist
bigot.
sympathizer. All right, yeah.
Migration is a human right.
Migration is beautiful.
Migration is beautiful. Migration is a human right.
Trump's a Nazi. How many Jews has Trump killed?
Huh?
How many Jews has Trump killed?
Oh, please.
How many Polish gypsies?
Oh, please.
You stupid cunt! Shout out ass bitch, shut the fuck up. You know what's good for your health, homie? Fuck Trump, free all the homies, fuck them all.
Free El Chapo!
Fuck the police, que viva Mexico, que viva Italia, fuck them.
Fuck Donald Trump! Fuck Donald Trump! Fuck Donald Trump! Fuck Donald Trump! Fuck Donald Trump!
Which means to break up this assembly. If you do not do so, you may be arrested or subject to other police
All right, what do you think's gonna happen in like 5 minutes?
In like 5 minutes, there's going to be pepper spray and riot gear running all through here.
I hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly, and in the name of the people of the state of California, demand all those assembled at Fair and Fairview to immediately disperse.
Word up, like, dude, he said that us Mexicans are bringing all types of bad people to this country. That's incorrect. Fuck you! Fuck Trump!
Yes, it can.
Are your parents legal? I'm asking a question. Obviously, they're not. Maybe you were born here.
Don't listen to his bullshit.
Maybe
He said the
you were
same
born
thing
here.
to me. His
But were your
bullshit.
parents legal?
You are racist.
Yes, it
you
does.
are a racist.
Because they shouldn't be in this country.
Racism at
They're
its
milking
finest,
this
ladies and
country
gentlemen.
dry.
Oh my God.
They can go back to whatever country they were born in.
Everyone in this country was not from here. We're all immigrants.
Exactly.
We're all immigrants.
A lot of people have done it before.
That's what God gave us. That's what makes us all equal. He gave us rights. Now fuck you.
Mexico is very hard on their borders. Why don't you go down south?
This is going to prevail. Heaven and earth will pass
But you
away,
lost the land.
said the word will
Thank
not.
God you lost the land. You think we want America to be like Mexico? No. If you want it, go to Mexico. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
You're browner than
Take your
us.
parents with
He
you.
is browner than us. You go to Mexico. He has accused me of dying of AIDS. He has called me a girl. He is homophobic. He is racist. Why would we halt Islam? Islamic people do nothing wrong. It is a bunch of group of people who are terrorizing has nothing to do with the religion.
Any company, any store, any judge goes against
That's the main reason.
John, do you have anything to say?
He doesn't have a brain. He's zombified. We
That's
gotta wake these people up. We gotta wake these people up.
You got to come with a couple talking points next time, so at least you have something to say.
Yeah, man.
You're making yourself look like a fool.
That's all the Trump haters, man. I mean, that's anybody who just says he's a racist. They're all like that. They have no facts.
It seems like racist if you don't agree with me. That's what.
Yeah, exactly. It's my opinion only, and that's it. And nobody else has an opinion. Nobody else has freedoms. Only them.
All right, here we go. What's your name and why are you standing on the American flag?
Von Abdul, my teammates, Bay. I am not a fucking Muslim. I don't know why everybody get that twisted.
Probably because you're standing on the American flag.
You know what I'm saying? But fuck this flag. Fuck this country. You know what I'm saying? It's hypocritical.
Yes, you're right, fuck this country. The one that gives you the right to exercise your freedom of speech and stand on the flag, you useless human.
This red, white, and blue. This shit is the new swastika. You know what I'm saying? This is
The new swastika? Really? I can tell you're an educated man.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This country is very fucking racist. We act like we don't have a race problem. So they brush it under the rug and say Obama is the standard for us to not be racist anymore as a country. Well, that's the fucking blatant lie. So we out here in support of ourselves, of the black community that gets a bad rap from media and everybody else. Corey Stingley was the young individual that went to this school, a black individual in West Dallas, which West Dallas has a bad history of being a racist place within itself for black people. 3 white gentlemen choked him to death because he attempted to steal some items from a store, even though he put the items back and tried to leave. They choked.
Wait a minute, did you just say he was stealing and reap the consequences of his actions? That didn't look like he was trying to put the items back, unless when he reached for the cash register he was trying to put money into it.
Choked him to death. No justice was served. So I find it very disrespectful and distasteful that they would choose this location to come and do their hateful speech here. So, you know, this is just another instance of the hypocrisy of this flag and of this nation, the true culture of it, the blatant disrespect for the black people in this nation. So that's what we here for.
All right. What has Trump said about the black community that you don't like?
Specifically, I mean, it's not. I'm not here specifically for Trump. You know what I'm saying?
Specifically, you can't think of one, but you just like to play victim, don't you?
I don't care for any of the politicians. I don't care for any of the candidates, I should say. My issue, his rhetoric is very racist. Probably not directly to black people, but his ties to the KKK is questionable. So are Hillary's. But the whole deporting people and all that, building the wall, all that shit is fucking racist rhetoric.
Yes, you're right, deporting criminals and building a wall is racist. Even though we would deport white, black, or Asian people.
You know what I'm saying? Mexico used to be part of America. They stole that shit from Mexicans too. You know what I'm saying? So for people to come here as immigrants, people that's not natural, people that's not original to this land, and try to force somebody else out as immigrants is ridiculous. So you know, it's all in his message. The whole thing is just foolery to me.
Okay. All right. Well, you got anything else you want to impart?
Black power in this motherfucker, man. Y'all know what it is. Y'all in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, one of the most segregated cities in the world.
The most segregated place in the world. You've got to be kidding me.
It's actually deemed as the worst place for black people.
And you're right, Wisconsin is the worst place on earth. For God's sake, the Green Bay Packers are the home team. But I think you're wrong. Africa is the worst place for black people. Thousands starve to death every day.
And West Dallas is a great example of that. So is Madison. Madison has a 10% or probably 12 or 14% population of black individuals, but those black individuals make up over 50% of the jails.
10% of the population, but 50% of the jails. Sounds like black people should stop committing crimes. This has nothing to do with racist white people.
You know, so that, I mean, that's just.
Hey, what do you think about the violence in Chicago, which is mostly, it seems, black on black gang violence? How do you deal with that problem?
We deal with black on black crime.
Just because you use quotation marks doesn't mean something doesn't exist.
Every day. I'm a community activist. We do a lot of work in our communities that goes unseen. We do stop the violence rallies, campaigns every year. We do community cleanups, community cookouts. That's not shown by the media. So for people to say that, use that as a reason to dispel the issue we have with the police is very divertive. You know what I'm saying? Black on black crime, fuck you. Black on black crime to me is a made up statistic.
Holy shit, did he just say black on black crime is made up?
America is on Earth.
Thank you, Bill Nye, for reminding us where we live.
We have human rights. You know what I'm saying? I have a human right before any constitution to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? Now, if people want to abide by a structure and a law, then that's up to them. That's totally fine. But I don't remember coming out of the womb and signing no contract saying I agree to every law America put out.
But by living here, you agree to live by the laws. If not, please go back to Africa, where you will be more free.
I don't remember any of us doing that. So some laws we will agree with, some laws we will not. All of us don't need to be dictated to on how to be human beings and how to conduct ourselves.
You're right, we don't all need to be dictated to on how to live our lives. But it seems like you need some direction.
Us all. God made us all lives matter. So if you want to separate yourself and put yourself on a platform about black life, but what about that yellow man? What about that orange person? What about that purple person? What about them?
The claim of the Black Lives Matter is that African Americans are sort of kind of targeted. They get more killed.
We want them to matter.
Hold on a second. This is what happens in black neighborhoods. It's black on black. It's black on black what kills these young youths in their neighborhoods. The Democratic Party has owned the black neighborhoods for over 60, 70 years. Look at them. And they give you a black president who's a Muslim. He supports radical Islam. From the White House, they the ones who created ISIS. Look at their policies. Look at their policies.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Why is it that every black person I know, every black parent I know, who I live in a neighborhood with, has to give their children a special instruction for what they should do and not do when they go out, so that they don't get stopped by the police?
Right, that's what they should teach them. That's what they're teaching them. But they're not teaching them that. But they're not teaching them that. Let me explain something. The families, you know why?
Yes, they are.
Because a lot of but listen. Let me tell you, rap music is designed to bring the black neighborhood down. Let me explain something. If you're walking down the street with your pants hanging down and you're listening to rap, and this rap is giving people the images, sell drugs, be a drug dealer, calling people bitches and hoes, the rap industry contributes to how blacks treat each other.
But what about, let me finish. What about the black men who are dressed nicely, driving in nice cars, and are treated like criminals as if they stole the cars?
Listen.
That has nothing to do with rap music.
But
that has to do with their lives not mattering as much as other people's lives.
Do you don't think white people get pulled over?
Not as much.
Right, maybe. Yeah, you're right. You might have a point there.
I do have a point.
Most crime is black on black. It's not cops killing.
We're not talking about
it's not cops killing black.
We're not talking about black on black crime.
Right.
We're talking
about Black Lives Matter till you talk about that.
Right.
My man.
You got it.
We're talking about black people not being as safe when they go out, when they're treated by the police, and more.
It's time for the black neighborhoods to start taking care of their own neighborhoods.
One of the problems with the black community is how we're perceived. So look, when we're talking about rap, when you compare it to the statistics, how 40% of violent crimes are committed by young black men. Hold on. It's a perception. It is a perception. When we talk about, you go on the internet and we talk about selling drugs, pimping women, armed trafficking, fraud, and all these things, and people who don't live in black neighborhoods, people who don't live in black neighborhoods, gentry neighborhoods, all they see is what they know online.
The White House is
and it is a perception. And when we hear police officers, 40% of the police officers who were killed in the line of duty were killed by young black men. It is only reasonable sometimes, not saying this is bad. Sometimes it is reasonable for a police officer to handle black men with a little bit more caution than it is for a 5'2" Chinese man, for instance. Because statistically they're not committing violent crimes. Statistically, they're not killing cops. Now, for instance, okay, so if a police officer pull over an Arab in Manhattan, right? Let me just put one. Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Most of the mass shootings in this country, when was the last one that was done by a black person?
The Dallas sniper.
I'm talking I'm talking about mass shootings of innocent people. I'm talking about the police. I'm not saying that was a good thing. So if we have all these mass shootings of people with guns killing children and killing innocent people, why aren't we more suspicious of white folks carrying around guns?
Well, they are. I mean, white people. White people. The thing is, when we're talking about black crime and white crime, we're talking about proportionality, right? No. So here's the thing. Right? So I think it was about 5,000 or 3,000. 5,000. Are you talking about police killings or just white on white violence?
I'm not talking about race. I'm talking about people responsible for mass shootings in this country. Which have all been.
Let me ask you a question. How many mass shootings occur as opposed to just killings on the streets of our cities? And what would you say the ratio of, say, a mass shooting to a shooting in a neighborhood?
Okay, well, I can't argue with you statistics.
You're saying you're wanting to focus on these mass shootings and they're not being committed by black people, but you want to ignore everything, all of that, as if it's more important.
I just want a black person walking down the street to be treated the same way as a white person walking down the street.
You've been African American, because you seem to know a lot more than these gentlemen about being black.
I live in a community with black and African American
So you have
friends.
black friends? I do too.
But are you going to say that black people can walk down the street and say
Absolutely.
Depending on where you live.
It
depends on where you live. It depends on where you live.
It just depends.
Right.
So you're going to tell me that women don't hold their purses closer, or you don't lock your door when you're going through a black neighborhood? Do you do that when you're driving through a white neighborhood?
Have you seen how I've been carrying my purse out here with 1,000 people I don't know? I'm not as any more concerned around all these people I don't know of all these nationalities than I am anywhere else.
But the thing is,
Lady, I've been walking around and people have been telling me I don't know what I'm talking about all day.
But the point is this: most crime is black on black. It's black on black.
About black on black.
All right.
It is a huge problem.
It's not the cops.
If we could reduce the main point is if we could reduce the amount of black on black crime and violent crime committed by blacks, it will reduce the perception of a threat when it comes down to how people are perceived. Black people are perceived in America.
I really think that Mr. Trump cares about you.
He's hired more black people than probably you have. Hired more Latinos, more Muslims than anybody else has.
But he insults them all the time.
Insults black people or Muslims, women?
Women. He's just he insults anybody who doesn't agree with him.
What about all the money?
Obama's killed more Muslims than Donald Trump has.
We can't have a rational conversation. You know what?
Obama has killed more Muslims than Donald Trump has. Extrajudicially. He has killed more Muslims. I didn't argue that. Well, he did. He got the Nobel Peace Prize. That was his credit. And then he ended up going to destroy Syria. And now we're him.
Well, how did he destroy Syria?
The limited airstrikes that Vladimir Putin told him not to do. China said, hey,
you like
and
Putin?
I don't. Well, there are things that I do like about Putin. He doesn't like to go and invade countries and destabilize them. One of the things I like about Putin is the fact that he understands that the Western presidents historically, at least from Clinton all the way to Bush, we have been toppling a lot of dictators that are democratically elected. The mullahs, the Muslim Brotherhood that was put into power after the military coup. That was another one that Vladimir Putin warned against, and we did it anyways. And then now this whole invade and invite Syria.
Because I don't want to listen to this anymore. But I'm just going to say, let me just tell you, I will be really glad when you guys are all done and you leave, and Ohio can go ahead and vote against Trump because he's going to lose here. And nobody wins the presidency without winning Ohio. That's fine. He will lose here.
Up that money, what he's doing is he loaned his campaign money so that now that he's raising money, because he's raising $10,000 a person here today. That $10,000 a person here today is actually going to go back to pay the campaign that he that he supposedly has been running for himself, or what, you know what I'm saying? Self-funding, okay? So basically this, he's not a real candidate. He's just as messed up as all the rest of them. He's just as messed up as Hillary. He's not going to be in it for any of us. If you guys want a real candidate, Gary Johnson is your man. He's the guy that knows what's up. He's about freedom. He's about all of that. And it has nothing to do with politics. He really cares about what you want in life and your freedoms and stuff like that. So it's interesting. You see a lot of people out here. They've got all their different views. There's Trump supporters on this side. There's Bernie Sanders people out here. There's Hillary people out here. But the reality is this: we don't want somebody that's hateful, who's racist, who doesn't care about people, who's a womanizer. He doesn't like anybody like that. And the reality is that we're out here trying to stand against and bring awareness to basically the truth about it. I mean, I don't know what else to say. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
what he's doing. People walking in there thinking that when he talks about people of color that he's not talking about you. He's talking about you. You're going to be the one that's going to be carted and pulled over. You want your freedom? When he sits there and he's going to pull all these he's going to pull over Muslims and Hispanic people that may be Mexican, may be illegal. That means every person of color is going to get checked just for walking down the street. And that's not freedom. I'm for freedom. This is America.
What candidate are you a fan of?
Right now I'm leaning towards Gary Johnson, but I don't know what's going to happen with that. We'll have to see.
Anything else you'd like to say?
Well, that's basically it, is that, we just need to, unfortunately, we don't have another Ron Paul in there. That would be great.
I do agree.
All right. Rand Paul's not like Ron Paul. Unfortunately, he quit early on. He was nothing like his dad, I'll be honest with you. But, hey, we have Gary Johnson there. I think that's the candidate that most of these people need to support, because
to support, because they don't believe all the racist rhetoric. A lot of them don't, but they feel like they have no option because there's not another conservative candidate out there but him. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, what would you like to say?
Fuck you and Alex Jones. Fuck you guys.
Why do you not like our organization?
Bunch of bitches. Fuck you.
Okay, as you can see, a very ignorant man who wouldn't even answer my question as to why he doesn't like us. What? Tell me why.
I'm with the media, so fuck Alex Jones.
I'm asking you why. You have a chance.
This guy wants to he tells people that they should shoot each other in the fucking head.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. He said that governor should